raise a toast to the wanderers, the seekers, the dreamers, to the misfits and outcast, and late-night schemers. May your days be merry, and your nights aglow, with a land pirate Christmas, wherever you go.
Ahoy there, travelers of the strange and seekers of the truth. Welcome aboard Land Pirate Radio, where we sail the airwaves in search of the mysterious, the magical, and the forgotten. I'm Adam, your captain tonight, and we're diving deep into the frosty forests and the ancient fires of the past. As the holiday season rolls in, we're starting our December-long series, the Yule Chronicles. Tonight's episode is all about the pagan roots of Yule, the winter solstice, the gods, the traditions, and how this ancient festival shaped the Christmas we know today. Let's light the Yule log and begin.
You're listening to Land Pirate Radio, where mysteries roam, shadows linger, and no stone is left unturned. Whether it's the unexplained, the strange, or the stories that make you shiver, we're here, out in the unknown, bringing it all to light. Stay tuned, if you dare.
Yule was more than just a celebration. It was a survival mechanism. For ancient peoples, the winter solstice, the shortest day and longest night of the year, was a turning point. The darkness was at its peak, but it also meant the return of the sun. Imagine living in a world lit only by fire, where the success of your harvest dictated whether you'd live through the winter. The solstice wasn't just a moment on a calendar. It was a spiritual and practical milestone, celebrated with feasts, fire, and rituals to honor the rebirth of the sun. But Yule wasn't uniform. It evolved uniquely across cultures. From the Norse and Scandinavia to the Celts and the British Isles, each group brought its own traditions to this sacred time. So, what did those traditions look like? Let's start in the icy north with the Norse roots of Yule. In the Norse tradition, Yule, or Jol, was deeply tied to the god Odin, known as the All-Father. Odin wasn't just the chief of the gods, he was also a wanderer, a seeker of wisdom, and during Yule, the leader of the Wild Hunt. The Wild Hunt was a spectral procession of ghostly riders led by Odin himself, tearing across the winter skies. This wasn't just a pretty light show, it was a harrowing event. If you were lucky, witnessing the hunt meant blessings and prosperity. If you weren't, well, let's just say it could mean death or disaster. The Yule celebrations in this region also revolved around the Yule log. Picture this. A massive tree, carefully chosen, brought into the home and burned in the hearth for 12 days. The ashes were scattered to protect the family and ensure a bountiful harvest. That's where our 12 Days of Christmas originates. Now, let's travel west to the British Isles, where the Celts celebrated the solstice as Alban Arthan, or Light of Winter. This festival wasn't just about the rebirth of the sun, it was a spiritual time when the veil between worlds was thin. The Druids, those mysterious Celtic priests, played a central role. They would cut mistletoe from sacred oak trees, believing it held life-giving properties. This is where our modern tradition of kissing under the mistletoe originates. Evergreens, another staple of Yule, were also sacred. To the Celts, these trees symbolized eternal life, standing strong even in the depths of winter. They brought holly and ivy into their homes, not just as decoration, but as protection against evil spirits.
Hey Adam, this is Martin from North Carolina. I love your show. I just wanted to add that Yule wasn't just a European thing. Similar winter solstice festivals happened all over the world. China had Dongji, where they ate dumplings and celebrated balance. In Peru, the Incas celebrated Inti Raymi in honor of the sun god. This makes me think there's something universal about how humans connect with the cycles of the earth.
Martin, you're spot on. The solstice really does seem to tap into something primal, doesn't it? It's as if the Earth's rhythms are imprinted on us, no matter where we come from. Thanks for bringing that perspective. This truly was a global phenomenon. Let's revisit Odin's Wild Hunt, one of the most haunting Yule legends. Imagine this. The midwinter sky alight with spectral riders, their ghostly forms tearing through the clouds. The hunt wasn't just a spectacle, it was a reckoning. If you were caught outside during the hunt, you risked being swept away or marked by fate. But the hunt also brought gifts. Those who lit fires and left offerings for Odin might find blessings in the coming year. This story doesn't just belong to the Norse. Variations appear across Europe. In Germany, there's Frau Perchta, a witch-like figure who traveled with the hunt. In England, the hunt was led by Herne the Hunter. These figures weren't just supernatural, they were guardians of the season, ensuring balance during the darkest time of the year. The Yule goat is one of the quirkier symbols of Yule. In Scandinavian lore, the goat was sacred to Thor, the god of thunder, and played a key role in winter festivities. Villagers would dress as goats, going door to door, singing songs and demanding treats. This custom, called Julebuking, is a direct ancestor of caroling and trick-or-treating. And here's the kicker. The Yule goat was also seen as a gift bringer, predating Santa Claus in Scandinavia. And it had a mischievous twist. If you didn't give the Yule goat a treat, you might find yourself on the naughty list. Even today, in Sweden, massive Yule goats are constructed out of straw, though they often become targets for arson. A little nod to the mischief of the season, perhaps?
Adam. This is Willow from Oregon. I practice modern paganism, and we still celebrate Yule every year. We light a Yule log, decorate with evergreens, and leave offerings for the spirits. It's about connecting with nature and honoring the cycles of life and death. I love how these ancient traditions have survived in some way.
Thanks for calling, Willow. It's incredible how resilient these traditions are, isn't it? Even in our modern, fast-paced world, they remind us to pause and reconnect with the earth and our ancestors. It's really a beautiful thing.
Check out Adam Drives Helen on Discord to chat about these episodes, connect with like-minded wanderers, and even pitch ideas for the show.
When Christianity spread through Europe, it didn't erase Yule, it merged with it. The early church strategically placed Christmas near the solstice to align with pagan celebrations like Yule and Saturnalia. Take the evergreens, for example. They became a symbol of eternal life in Christian tradition, just as they were for the pagans. The Yule log was reimagined, and even the idea of gift-giving was absorbed into the Christian holiday. But this blending wasn't just practical, it was strategic. By embracing these customs, Christianity made itself relatable and accessible to people who were deeply tied to the cycles of nature.
Hi there, Adam. This is Claire from Vermont. I wanted to add that Yule is part of the Wiccan Wheel of the Year, which divides the year into 8 festivals. It's still about the rebirth of the sun, but it's also a time to reflect and set intentions for the new year. I think it's cool how these ancient cycles still guide us today.
Thank you, Claire. The Wheel of the Year is such a fascinating framework. It keeps us connected to the earth and its rhythms, which can feel so distant in our modern lives. Setting intentions during Yule is such a powerful way to start fresh.
Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Santa wishing you and yours a very wonderful holiday. And remember, Santa's watching.
From the snowy rooftops of legend to the twinkle of modern-day lights, one name stands above the rest: Santa Claus. But who is this jolly old man in red? Is he a saint, a storyteller's dream, or something much more mysterious? This Wednesday on Land Pirate Radio, we dig deep into the origins of the big man himself. From St. Nicholas to Sinterklaas, the Coca-Cola ad that changed everything, and the surprising ways ancient folklore shaped the Santa we know today. But beware, the truth about Santa Claus might not be as merry as you think. Join me, Adam, for episode 2 of the Yule Chronicles, the invention of Santa Claus. Because when it comes to Santa, it's not just about who's been naughty or nice, it's about how we got here in the first place. Land Pirate Radio, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. Find us wherever you tune in to mystery, magic, and the unexplained.
Raise a toast to the wanderers, the seekers, the dreamers, to the misfits and outcast, and late-night schemers. May your days be merry, and your nights aglow, with a Land Pirate Christmas, wherever you go.
Evergreens, candles, carols, feasts, and gift-giving. So much of what we associate with Christmas has its roots in Yule. Even Santa Claus, who we'll talk about in the next episode, has threads that connect him to Odin, the Wild Hunt, and the Yule Goat. As we wrap up this leg of our journey through the Yule Chronicles, I hope you're seeing how ancient traditions have shaped the holiday season. Next time, we'll dive into the story of Santa Claus, how he evolved from a saint, a god, and a folk hero into the jolly figure we know today. Until then, this is Adam, your Land Pirate Captain, reminding you to keep the Yule log burning and the spirits high. Good night, travelers. Ahoy, land pirates! Tonight we're taking a detour from our Yule Chronicles to dive into one of the most beloved Christmas movies of all time, Home Alone. The story of resilience, resourcefulness, and the spirit of Christmas wrapped up in one mischievous kid's battle to protect his home. Grab your micro machines and your tarantulas because we're about to unravel the magic behind this holiday classic. Picture it. 1990, Christmas movies were mostly sappy Hallmark-esque fare. Then along came Home Alone with its mix of heartfelt holiday cheer and cartoonish violence. Written by John Hughes and directed by Chris Columbus, this little film turned into a cultural phenomenon that no one saw coming. For those living under a rock, the story follows 8-year-old Kevin McAllister accidentally left behind when his chaotic family jets off to Paris for Christmas. What unfolds is a battle of wits between Kevin and two bumbling burglars, Harry and Marv. But it's so much more than that. It's about the power of home, family, and believing in yourself. So why does Home Alone still resonate over 30 years later? Let's dig in. Kevin McAllister isn't just a kid. We could argue he's a Christmas archetype. In storytelling terms, Kevin's journey mirrors the classic hero's quest. At the start, he's selfish, bratty, and stuck in a family dynamic where he feels invisible. After being abandoned, he goes through a trial by fire, literally, and emerges as a courageous, clever protector of his home. But let's not forget the deeper themes here. Kevin's story is one of self-discovery. Being left alone forces him to confront his fears, learn to fend for himself, and perhaps, most importantly, realize the importance of family. By the end of the film, Kevin isn't just defending his house. He's reclaiming his place in the McAllister family. Home Alone isn't just a slapstick comedy. It's dripping with Christmas magic. From the snowy suburban streets to the twinkling Christmas lights, it perfectly captures the warm, nostalgic feeling of the holidays. The soundtrack, composed by John Williams, elevates this movie to legendary status. Tracks like Somewhere in My Memory are now iconic, evoking both the joy and the loneliness of Christmas. Did you know Williams only came on board after a different composer dropped out? Imagine this movie without his music. It's unthinkable. Then there's the subplot with Old Man Marley, Kevin's mysterious neighbor. At first, Marley is a figure of fear, but by the end, he becomes a symbol of reconciliation and redemption. His reunion with his estranged family in the final moments is a Christmas miracle in its own right. Now, let's talk about the real reason we all love this movie. Kevin's ingenious booby traps. These aren't just gags, they're a child's version of defending his castle. Harry and Marv's attempt to breach Kevin's home feels like a holiday take on a medieval siege. Let's break it down. The ice steps and flaming doorknobs? Psychological warfare. Paint cans in the face? Tactical precision. A tarantula and feathers? Humiliation as a weapon. But here's the thing. Kevin's traps are a metaphor for the creativity and resilience of a child left to his own devices. And honestly, they make us all a little jealous. Who wouldn't want to turn their house into a fortress after watching this movie? Home Alone was more than a hit. It became a cultural touchstone. It grossed nearly $500 million worldwide, became the highest-grossing live-action comedy of all time, and spawned countless parodies and sequels. Even now, phrases like "keep the change, you filthy animal," are part of the Christmas lexicon. But the movie's impact goes deeper. It reminds us of the innocence and ingenuity of childhood, the importance of family, and the magic of the holidays. And let's be real. It made us all double-check our travel plans to make sure no one got left behind.
Merry Christmas!
Did you know the McAllister House is a real home in Winnetka, Illinois? It's become a tourist attraction for fans of the film. And that terrifying furnace in the basement? That's pure movie magic. It was operated with fishing lines and off-screen effects. And let's talk casting. Joe Pesci as Harry and Daniel Stern as Marv brought a slapstick, almost cartoon-like quality to their roles. Pesci even avoided Macaulay Culkin on set to keep Kevin's fear of Harry authentic. And speaking of Culkin, his performance made him a household name, cementing his status as one of the most iconic child actors of all time. Home Alone is more than just a holiday movie. It's a celebration of the resilience of the human spirit, the magic of Christmas, and the importance of family. It's a movie that brings us together year after year, reminding us to cherish the people and the homes we love. So, Land Pirates, what do you think? Is Home Alone a timeless Christmas classic for you too? Or are you one of those people who thinks Harry and Marv deserve better? Drop anchor in the comments and let me know. Until next time, stay warm, stay weird, and stay safe out there. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. From the snowy rooftops of legend to the twinkle of modern-day lights, one name stands above the rest: Santa Claus. But who is this jolly old man in red? Is he a saint, a storyteller's dream, or something much more mysterious? This Wednesday on Land Pirate Radio, we dig deep into the origins of the big man himself. From St. Nicholas to Sinterklaas, the Coca-Cola ad that changed everything, and the surprising ways ancient folklore shaped the Santa we know today. But beware, the truth about Santa Claus might not be as merry as you think. Join me, Adam, for episode 2 of the Yule Chronicles, the invention of Santa Claus. Because when it comes to Santa, it's not just about who's been naughty or nice, it's about how we got here in the first place. Land Pirate Radio, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. Find us wherever you tune in to mystery, magic, and the unexplained.